Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Today's focus is trigger points, which is stuck fascia tissue, and balance, utilizing the tennis ball to target trigger points for improved shoulder and hip range of motion. As an added bonus to challenging our stability on the foam roller, we will simultaneously be improving our core. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start longwise on our roller. Make sure your head is supported. Again, if you have a short one, make sure your tailbone, your hips are supported, and maybe throw a couple yoga blocks under your head and your upper back if you need more support for that. And we're going to reach the fingertips out to the side about 45 degrees. And then I want you to walk your feet all the way together. So you're squeezing your knees and your toes, big toes together, and then just gently push your low back towards the roller. And just notice what you're feeling. And we're going to hit some trigger points, and we're going to work our balance a little. So now I want you to walk your arms out further to the side, reaching out longwise, and then start to rock your body side to side. Almost like you're going to fall off, but you're not, because you're catching yourself. If it's super unstable, you are welcome to bring your feet wider apart if you need to. One more rock. And then we're going to find our center back on that roller. And I want you to bring your left arm up to the sky, and then your right. And yes, your feet are still really close together. So just squeeze the legs, push your belly into the spine, find that balance. Relax your shoulders, reach your right arm overhead, left arm to the hip. And stretch those arms out, and then slowly switch. Embrace the shakiness. Again, make adjustments with the feet if you need to have them further apart. Otherwise, squeeze those legs. That helps with the balance and makes the core work. Alternate the arms now. Reach one overhead and then the other. Anybody falling off? I'm getting a little wobbly here. Ooh, and do you notice that you lean more one way than the other? This is waking up the nervous system also of the body. One more way, each way with the arm. And then go ahead and bring the arms down next to the body, again about 45 degrees. Push the belly into the spine, bring your right knee up to 90 degrees. Push your back into the mat, and then slowly lift the left foot about 2 inches off the floor. Really push that back into the roller. Feel the core engaging, and then let your left foot go all the way back to the floor. Straighten out that right leg, all the way up to the sky. Keeping your right hand on the floor, I want you to lift your left hand up. So opposite arm, opposite leg off the floor. They're both reaching to the sky. Now, reach your left arm overhead, right leg extending. So your arm and leg reach the opposite way. And then bring them back up. Tap the shin or the knee or the toe, extend back. And then bring that leg back up over the belly and reach the hand to touch the leg. Try to go slow and controlled. Now, if you can, while you're doing this, have only your right fingertips on the floor and your left foot. So maintaining that balance. One more. We're going to change it up a little. Arm and leg come up. Now, bring the right leg out diagonally and reach the left arm out diagonally. And then bring it up and bend the knee when it comes up and grab your ankle. And then extend it back out straight, and then bring it in. Touch the ankle, bring it out to the side, and then bring it in, touch the ankle. One more time, getting those obliques involved, and bring it in. Good, now cross that right ankle over the left thigh. So figure 4, both fingertips now back on the floor, about 45 degrees or more out to the side, just your fingertips, like tense. Push your belly into the roller, lift your left foot off the floor and pull those knees towards the chest for your figure 4. Flex both feet and just breathe here. Option to straighten out your left leg. Continue breathing and then bend your left knee. Pull that left knee closer to your chest. Rotate your right ankle. And then change direction. And then slowly lower your left foot to the floor. Open up that right knee. Now I want you to do 4 times. You're going to lift and lower that left leg slowly. Push your back into the roller. Lift the left foot up. Keep that leg crossed. That figure 4. Tap the foot. Lift it up. Lower it down. Tap that toe. Lift it up. You got 1 more to go. Lower it down. And then lift. And then lower. Good. Uncross that leg. Now extend your left leg to the sky. Push your back into the mat, the roller. Lift your right foot about 2 inches off the floor and just hover. Notice the difference on this side. Let your right foot go back to the floor. Reach your left hand out just a little further. Fingertips on the floor. Right hand to the sky. So your opposite arm, opposite leg again. Then reach that left leg out from your hip, right arm overhead, and then bring it in. Tap the shin or the knee, and then extend, and then lift, and extend, and lift. We're almost there. Give me 2 more. Feel that core working. We never want to go into that low back. Try to relax your shoulders at the same time. 1 more. Good. Now you're going to come up, and this time go out diagonally. Reach your arm out to the side, leg out to the side. When you come in, bend the knee, touch the ankle or grab it, and then extend back out. And then bring it in and tap. If you fall off, just jump back up on that roller. And in. 2 more. And tap. And 1 more. Feel those obliques. Feel everything working. And tap. Good. Now cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Bring both fingertips back to the floor. Slowly pull your right leg off the floor and pull the knee towards the chest in that figure 4. Rotate your left ankle. And then maybe you straighten your right leg. Notice the difference. Is one side easier to balance than the other? And then bend that right knee slowly. Bring it all the way back to the floor. Open up that left knee. Oh, I get a hip pop. And then now slowly bring the right leg up, keeping that left leg crossed, figure 4, and then slowly lower it down. Good. Tapping the toes to the floor. Lift. Lower it down. 2 more. Lift. And lower. 1 more. Lift. And lower. Good. Go ahead and uncross that leg. Both feet flat on the floor. Now they're about hip distance apart. Bring your arms all the way up to the sky. Let your hips rest. Open them nice and wide. And then bring them across to give yourself a hug. And then open them wide. And cross them the opposite way. Stretch out those shoulders, open wide. Cross them the opposite way. And now go ahead and bring both arms to the floor, 45 degrees. Push your back into the mat. Right knee at 90 degrees. Pull that foot off the floor. The left joins it. Good. Bring your feet and knees together. And now twist from your hip, like a boat rudder, side to side. Again, working the balance. So when we work our balance, we're working our core at the same time. Think about relaxing your shoulders. If you feel wobbly, just keep practicing. Practice will improve our balance. Flex those feet and then find your center. Good. I want you to tap the right toe. Bring it back up to this 90 degrees at the hip. And then the left. So let's do a few marches. Tap and lift. Now when you're tapping and lifting in this marching, think about that core pushed into the back into the roller, and the shoulders, try to really relax those shoulders. So that core is going to fire up. See if you can just maybe place one hand on the belly without falling off the roller and keep one hand on the floor as you march. Feel that belly working. Couple more marches. And then we'll hold those knees up at 90 and 90. Don't let the feet or knees touch this time. And I'll see if you can just one at a time lift one hand or the other, or maybe both for a millisecond off the floor. Find your balance. That's it. Feel the wigglies. The instability almost there. And slowly release one leg to the floor and then the other, and feel that nice stable ground. Feels so good. You're going to lift your head off the roller, and let's roll off the side. And you're going to bring that roller behind you. So now we're going to sit up on the roller. So push yourself all the way up. If you have water, grab a drink of water. So I'm going to start on my left glute. So we're going to roll the left butt cheek to start with. So lean onto that left hand behind the roller. Use your legs to roll that whole glute from the top of the glute all the way to the bottom. And find any trigger points. Let's go a little deeper. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. And again, that will make the tissue expand. You can get a little deeper into that piriformis. And then find the middle of that glute, and I want you to rock side to side. Just take notice what you're feeling. Maybe move a little bit to the top of the glute, a little bit to the bottom as you rock side to side. And then we're going to release. And you're just going to switch sides. So you can just lean to the other side if you'd like. I'm going to turn around so I'm still facing you, but I'm going on to the right side. And we're going to roll to the top and the bottom of that right butt cheek. Right hand behind you. Using those feet to press. Now take your right ankle over the left thigh if it goes there. If it doesn't, no worries. You can always just do a cross at the ankle or just pull that knee up a little bit more. So just make those variations what works for you. And find those trigger points. So speed bumps, trigger points. Might have a roadblock, right? Is there a roadblock in that glute? A nice big knot. Find the center and then rock side to side. Especially if you've been super busy doing fun outdoor activities, hiking, tennis, pickleball, running, biking. Roll all the way to the top and the bottom of that glute. Excellent. And then we're going to release. And we're going to sit all the way down in front of that roller. And I want you to grab your tennis ball. So we're not going to stretch quite yet. We're going to get into it there and stretch the glute. But first thing I want you to do is sit on the tennis ball. So I'm going to start on my left glute. And I'm just going to set it right in the middle of the big part of my butt, the butt cheek there, the glute. Lean back. And then drop that left knee out to the left side. Your both feet are flat on the floor, knees bent. And then just drop it out and in. So we're going to find some of those trigger points in the glute. So wherever you are in that glute, you get to play around and figure out if there's another spot that feels that you need to get to. So maybe move your body slightly. If you're on the left butt cheek, move slightly to the right. So it moves more to the outside of the glute. And drop that knee again, open and close. Open and close. And you can even move to the left and get that tennis ball closer to the sits bones and drop it in and out. If it's extremely painful, take less weight, put less weight on that tennis ball. Put less weight and just move around. I'm going to move to the in, but up higher, so I'm more towards the center up top part of the left side of that glute. Good. Now I want you to move all the way up to the top edge of that glute, and then slide your body to the right or away from the tennis ball. So the tennis ball is going more to the outside edge of my left glute. It's almost up into my hip. I'm going to drop to my left elbow, so I want you to drop onto your left side, left elbow, and then drop that knee out to the left. So really getting in there to the top of that glute. Move my roller. Keep on moving that. Forgot to move my roller out of the way. So if your tennis ball shoots out, just put it back in there. And then we're going to straighten and bend. You're leaning on that left side, on the left elbow, and straighten and bend that left leg. Pull it in and out. If you're on your right side, then do straighten and bend the right leg. In and out. Anybody feeling that? I got a spot there. Make adjustments if you need to move it more to the outside edge and bend and straighten. And you can even try lifting the knee with the knee bent, lifting that leg up and out, in and out, up and down. Try both. In, out, up, down. One more. Now we're going to roll off of that tennis ball, set it to the side, and go ahead and sit all the way up. Straighten out those legs, and whatever glute you just worked, like I did the left, so if you did the left with me, cross that left foot over the right thigh, and then hug that left knee into the chest. Left arm behind you as a kickstand, and just feel that nice stretch. Take a couple breaths here. Enjoy that whole stretch of that glute. Feels good. Now you're going to take that same leg, keep it across, but I want you to straighten it almost so your knees are crisscrossed. And then just do a little more of a twist. So you're pushing on either the outside of the calf or the knee of the left leg. So just getting a little different twist here. A little higher up into that hip, that glute area. All right, we're going to release that. We are going to the other side. So now you're going to bend the knees, put the feet flat on the floor, lean to your left so you can place the tennis ball under your right butt cheek, hands behind the back, and then drop that knee out and in. And notice the difference on the right and left side. Sometimes if you feel a little bit of a cramping in the front of that hip, you could, this can help release it because that muscle, everything attaches up and in there. You can move a little bit to the outside edge, drop it open, relax your shoulders. You can always have your roller behind you and leaning on it if it's getting tiring on your shoulders or even your hands. This is a doable variation. And then you can move your body to the right if you're on your right glute and go towards those sits bones. You might get a little bit of a release there too. Lots of connective tissue there into those sits bones down there that helps the rotation of that hip. So a couple more times. And then we're going to move the knee back up, both knees bent. Slide your body forward so that tennis ball moves up to the very top of that glute, more on the inside still. Drop the knee in and out because we're going to start to maneuver our body. So you're going to slide the body to the left so the tennis ball goes to the edge of that right hip. Drop to your right elbow. So you're starting to turn to your right side, but keep that tennis ball under there. And then drop that knee out and in. And make adjustments with the tennis ball. It's way up high, almost on your, basically on your hip, where the hip and the glute meet. And it's going to be a little different for everyone depending on how you're built. And then you can also drop that knee out and then straighten and bend that right leg. Are you feeling that? I got some spots there, boy. Anybody got a tight hip there? Is it talking to you? Did you find a trigger point That's what we're doing. We're finding those trigger points. So that's when the fascia tissue gets crystallized, or it gets it's stuck basically. It's not getting the proper nutrients there and hydration. So this is what we're doing, is we're taking, it's like a sponge, squeezing that sponge, and we're getting all that stuck, yucky stuff out, and then it can rehydrate. And then lift and lower that knee one more time, and then extend. So combine the two moves. Straighten and bend, and then lift and lower that knee. One more time. And then come off of that tennis ball, set it to the side. Straighten out the legs. So the leg you just worked, that right leg, cross it over, give it a squeeze, hug it into the chest, and feel that nice glute stretch. So if you're traveling, take that tennis ball with you, whether you're in the car, or the train, or a plane, and use that tennis ball on that glute. Just a great way to keep mobility if you have to sit for a long period of time. You can even take it into the hamstrings, which we'll get to a little bit later. And then go ahead and straighten the leg, but keep it crossed, and then just add a little more of a twist. So you get a little bit higher up into that hip and that glute. You can even wiggle the toes. You might feel a difference if you wiggle your toes. It's all connected. There we go. So we're going to move up the body. We're going to give our glutes a break. We're going to move to the shoulder blades. So what you want to do now is lean back on that roller. We're going to roll the upper back. Knees are bent, feet are flat, fingertips behind the ear. We don't want to interlace the fingers because then we crank on that neck. So keep them wide. Go ahead and lift those hips. We're going to roll the upper back to middle of the back, and then all the way to the upper back. So where that belly button meets in the middle, all the way up and down. Think about your breath, breathing in, breathing out. Good. After a few of these, we're going to get a little deeper into the shoulder blades, and then we're going to really target the rotator cuff with the tennis ball. So go to about the middle of those shoulder blades, lower the hips, and then draw to whatever side you're on. I'm going to draw to my right, so I can just keep facing you. I'm going to draw all the way to my right hip, and I'm just rocking and rolling on that shoulder blade. Be mindful of the armpit, anywhere if you've had lymph nodes removed, contraindications, making sure you're not going into that area of the chest wall. If you've had lymph nodes removed, if you've not, then go for it. You can roll all the way through that armpit to the chest wall, and even getting the top of that tricep, massaging it out. One more time. Now, while we're here, we're just going to lean back, bring your elbow on the front side of the roller, and then move the roller so your head can rest on it. And then you're going to get your tennis ball. So like I said, we're going to get a little deeper into those rotator cuffs. So make sure you're supporting your head, and you're going to take the tennis ball, and you're going to kind of have to play around with it and slide it basically right behind. I'm going to sit up and show you. So right behind that soft spot of the armpit. So right in here, towards the edge of the shoulder blade. If it's super painful, then make adjustments. So I'm kind of moving around till I find a little spot. And once you find that spot, let your elbow go to the floor. Your palm is up and your back of your hand on the roller. And then I'm just doing, lowering the hand towards the floor and then the hand to the roller. So you're pivoting through that shoulder, the elbow staying at 90 degrees. So again, make adjustments on it. Maybe you don't feel anything. Maybe you want to move it more inside, more out, more up or down. If I move it a little higher towards my arm, up into that shoulder, it definitely can feel that. If you've had any rotator cuff tears or issues, you might be feeling this a little extreme. So just lessen the pressure. We're almost there. One more time. Now when you're done, let your head rest on the back of the roller and bring that arm across the body and just stretch it. Wiggle the right fingers. And then take that arm, reach it over your head, way over that roller. Bend the elbow. Just do a gentle pull. Hopefully that feels okay. Keeping the elbow bent, I want you to gently pull it back over your head and across your body. Just changing it. And then bring it back over your head, reaching back over, and then bring it down to your chest again. So just a couple of those, just moving through the range of motion, seeing how that feels. If it feels uncomfortable or causes pain, then obviously you don't do that. Pain means pay attention inside now. That means don't do it. If you have pain, you need to maybe massage it out a little more or go see a professional about what you have going on there. One more time, up and over, and then back to the chest. Excellent. Okay, now you're going to roll to the other side. I'm going to just roll myself up. I'm going to flip around so I can go to my other shoulder. So if you'd like, you can roll your upper back first, or you can just go back into the left shoulder. I'm going to roll my back a bit. Again, this is playtime. Figure out what you have going on. Rolling that. And then we're going to lower, middle of the shoulder blades, lower those hips. Drop to your left side and go into that left armpit and shoulder blade area. And just notice the difference. Rolling, elbow is over the back side of the roller. So you can really go into the chest wall and the armpit. Same thing on this side if you have lymph nodes missing or any injuries that are super sensitive, then you avoid those areas. The more you roll, the less it hurts. And this is also a fabulous way to improve your posture. And we all need to do that. Boy, I think this is the year of sitting in front of a computer, right? For everyone. A lot more time at a desk. All right, we're almost there. A couple more rolls. Really massaging it out. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring that roller under your head. So your neck, your head, everything's supported. You're going to place that tennis ball under the left side and just move around till you find that spot, and then let your elbow go to the floor. Your legs can be straight or bent. You can be slightly on your side, or you can be on your back. And then bring the hand to the roller and then all the way to the floor, keeping a 90 degree at that elbow, up and down. Don't forget to breathe when you're doing this, especially if you're having some trigger points. And maybe you pause on a trigger point. That's a possibility. Move off of it if it's too intense. Anybody feeling this? Oh, yeah, I got some spots. Especially if you've worked out recently or lifted a lot. Maybe you're doing some yard work. One more time, up and down. Good. Go ahead and let your head roll to the roller. Bend your knees, feet flat on the floor, back on your hips. Bring that arm all the way across your body. Stretch it out. Then we're going to slowly bring the arm back, come up overhead, gently pull the elbow, bend it, stretching it over your head. Now while it's there, I want you to slowly bring it down over your chest, gently pull across, slide it back up over your head, back down towards your chest, up over your head. Just checking in with your range of motion down to the chest last time. Slowly, make sure it's slow. We're not forcing anything. Overhead and last time to the chest. Good. And then hug your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze and a rock side to side. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Hug the knees. And we're going to tuck our chin and we're going to stretch and hold here for a moment. Good. And then slowly sit all the way up. A couple of shoulder rolls. All right, we're going to move on. So so hopefully you have a little more range of motion. Lots of fun things. We're gonna do some balance real quick and work on our shins. We're still gonna move into, gosh, I have so many great things. We got some great things for the quads, hamstrings, and we're gonna end up too with a fabulous stretch, not just for the head and the neck, but for the hips and quads. So what I want you to do, just a little teaser on what we have coming. I want you to go on to all fours and have your shins on the roller. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Now, if you need to have your toes on the floor, you are totally fine to do that. And you can also turn your toes in and adjust the roller. So if it's painful, lean to one side just slightly so you come off of that shin. So whatever side. I'm leaning to my left and I'm going to straighten out my right leg and find that balance. And again, if it's too painful on the shin, tuck the toe into the floor and find your balance. I'm starting to shake a little, and I want you to bring your right knee in, shift to the right slightly, tuck your toe if you need to, extend the left leg. Find that balance. It's a great way also to get those trigger points on those shins. Make those adjustments. Good, both knees come back. You can tuck your toes slightly in again if you'd like. Try to bring your right arm out from your shoulders, straighten it out. And bring your hand to the floor, try the other side. How's your balance today? And then bring the hand to the floor. Now the ultimate challenge. I want you to extend your left leg out, right arm out. And again, toe can be on the floor if you need it. Extend, embrace the shakiness. Hand to floor, knee to roller. Let's try the other side. So slowly adjust. And you might notice that one shin is more sensitive than the other. I'm saying that because I'm noticing that with mine. So right leg, left arm. Ooh, this is my wobbly side. Anybody notice a difference? Breathe. Boy, am I wobbly today on that side. Go ahead and bring your hand and shin back to the roller and then slide back onto your toes off of that roller. I'm sure you're glad to do that. Bring your knees to the floor. If you need a drink, grab a drink. We're gonna move on. So that's all we're doing on the quads today. Probably plenty. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move to, or on the shins, excuse me. Now we're gonna move to the quads. So you're gonna focus on basically one leg on that roller. So I'm gonna start on my left. I'm gonna drop to the elbows. Now that right leg is just maybe out to the side. You can have it behind the roller. But I want you to go to the very top part of that roller. So it's basically, it's not up at the hip crease, but it's on the very top of that roller. You can have the other knee on the floor or out to the side or even resting slightly on that roller. So I can move mine to the side so you can see. Now, I'm on my left leg. I want you to bend the left knee, pull the foot to the sky, and then straighten the leg. Bend the knee, and then straighten the leg. Bend the knee, and straighten the leg. Let's do 2 more of that. Bend the knee. Are we feeling that? 1 more. Excellent. Now, lift up slightly, move that roller down your thigh, so it's in the middle of your thigh. We're going to bend the knee and straighten the knee. So this is all about trigger points. We're just feeling what's going on. When you bend, you might feel it, and then when you straighten, try to really relax the leg. Think about it. Let it rest for a moment. Then bend it. So you're contracting. Think about how hard your quads work to get you up and down from a chair, walking up and down stairs and hills. 1 more, up and down. And then we're going to move that roller down again. Now it's closer to the knee. And you're going to bend and straighten. So if you've got lots of trigger points here, then I would recommend practice rolling those quads a little more often. It's going to really help those knees. If you have knee pain, you probably have really crazy tight quads. and you might find some spots. You can even move that foot. When you get down towards the knee, it's a little easier to change the angle as you bend the knee and straighten it. Like pull it to the left as you bend it, and then straighten it. Pull it to the right as you bend it, and straighten it. All right, I'm gonna go one more roll from right above the knee. We never hit the kneecap, but we're above the kneecap. And then bend and straighten. And again, try to maybe go out to the left and straighten, and then to the right. So you're getting a little bit on the different areas of the top of that quad. And you might find a spot there. One more. Excellent. Now you're gonna slide yourself off of that roller. Let's take a child's pose. Separate your knees, feet together. Bring that roller in front, reach the arms out so you can just do a little extra stretch. Stretch it out. And notice that side that you just rolled. How's that feeling? Let's go to the other side now. So you're going to go to the right, and I want you to bring that roller right up. Remember, you're right towards the top, but not on the hip crease. Once you get there, I want you to straighten and bend. We're back on the elbows. Take your time getting there. Straighten and then bend. When you straighten, try to relax that leg. I know it's way easier said than done. Sometimes it's hard to relax. If you cannot relax at all because it's too painful, take a little pressure off of the area. Lean into your elbows more, or push your body weight away from the roller if it's too painful. One more time. Bend and straighten. We're not doing crazy kicks, it's slow. Move that roller to the middle of your thigh, and then bend and straighten, and bend and straighten. Are we feeling that one? You can try the different angles. If your quads and your hip flexors are super tight too, be mindful of that low back. If one side's tighter than the other, you might be, I don't want you feeling it in that low back because you're working those quads, and that hip flexor goes right up in there, and it can cause a rotation of the hips. I know that's getting really technical on you, but it's what's happening in your body if you're getting any kind of low back pain because you're overarching because that hip is rotating. All right, last one. Good. Move that roller down. To get two more spots. If your quads are a little bit shorter, maybe this is your last spot. We're going to do one more right above the knee, but we're a little bit higher. We're closer to the knee, but not quite there. And you can also try pulling that leg when you bend it to the right and then to the left, so you get different areas of the quad. We want to take care of our quads. So important. Biggest muscle, and it goes over two different joints of the body. One more bend and one more straighten. There we go. Okay, last one, right above the knee. Move that roller down. Bend and straighten. Rotating. There we go. And just be mindful of that kneecap. You're not hitting the kneecap. If you feel any twinges, that's not good. You don't want to feel twinges. You want to feel a nice massage on that tissue. Twinges are nerve pain. That's something different, and you don't want to be triggering that when you're doing this. So maybe you've got something else going on that's causing that nerve pain. Bringing that foot out to the right, straightening it, bending it to the left. Last one. And then we're going to slide off that roller. Go ahead and come up. Let's take our child's pose briefly. Knees apart, feet together. Go ahead and put that roller in front. Stretch it out. Stretch out that low back too. You want this to feel so good. So, so good. Excellent. And then we're going to come up. All right, so now you're going to need your tennis ball. You can move that roller out to the side. So we're gonna flip onto the back of those legs. So we did the quads. We're gonna stretch them a little bit deeper in a bit, and we got the tennis ball in the glute. So what I want you to do is do the tennis ball under your hamstring. So you're gonna bend your left knee. I'm gonna start on the left, tuck it in nice and tight, and then straighten out the leg. So if you haven't seen, I have the video I did with the chair and the tennis ball. So that's also a great way to get into that foot, or to the hamstring and the foot in that video. So I'm just gonna stop talking. Put the ball under the hamstring, hands behind the back, and then draw your left leg out to the side and back and forth, back and forth. Massage. Now straighten out the leg, flex your feet, use your fingertips to slightly start to lean forward, and notice what you feel. Then gently rock your foot side to side, staying with the heel on the floor. Just rock it through the heel. And you might feel it more to the outside or the inside. And then bend the knee more. And I want you to move that tennis ball to the middle of your hamstring. Lean back on your hands and then draw the whole leg side to side. So we're kind of giving a little warm up to it, letting it know. Then bring the leg straight, heel on the floor, hands behind the back, lean forward, and then rock your leg from your heel, keeping on that heel. And then move that tennis ball down. Now you're closer to the knee, but you're above it. Lean back, slide that leg side to side. We're not doing a ton here, just a little bit on that hamstring, touch base with it. See what's going on. And then bring it to center, straighten, flex the legs, lean forward, hands behind the back. From that heel, rock it side to side. And hopefully you're feeling that hamstring stretch a little deeper. Now go ahead and release the tennis ball, place it to the side. Bend your right knee and place your right ankle under the left knee. And then lean into it. Stretch out that left hamstring, or whatever side you're on. If you were doing the right, then stretch your right. Just lean into it, never forcing it. Let's lift through the chest. Let's try to straighten out the back and hinge through those hips. Rotate those hips. And notice the difference. And then wiggle the toe. So you're really feeling that connective tissue that goes all the way up into that hip. So we did the glutes and the quads, and now that hamstring, all is connected. So this is to help get that more rotation of the hip, those trigger points. And then we get better balance, and that's the key there too, because we're more mobile, and the nerves and the fascia and the tissue just work better. Go ahead and release, come all the way up. Let's go to the other side. So now you're going to bend the right knee. We're not leaning away, so it's not on the butt. We already did that. It's on the hamstring, right in the middle, the back of that leg. Lean back onto the hands, and then draw that right leg side to side. Just a few times. Then bring the legs straight, flex the feet, hands behind the back, lift the spine, start to hinge forward. Now that can be a little intense if you got something going on in that hamstring. Heel on the floor, rock that leg side to side. And you can move it wherever you want. Maybe you need it more on the inside, the outside. Just make those adjustments with your body. All right, now you're going to bring that tennis ball board to the middle of your hamstring. Lean back, slide side to side. So if you feel like your hamstring's tight one day, just grab that tennis ball. It doesn't take a lot of time. And then straighten out that leg and then lean into it. And then rock that leg side to side on that heel. You might even feel it all the way up going through that connection to that low back as you're leaning forward. All right, last one. Go above the knee, lean back. Slide around, side to side. Find those spots, those trigger spots. Then find your straight leg in whatever spot you want that tennis ball. And hands behind the back and gently lean forward and rock that leg side to side on the heel. Anybody find a spot or difference? Is one hamstring tighter than the other? Mine are like night and day. They're so opposite. It's crazy. Now we're going to take that tennis ball out. Go ahead and set it to the side. Slightly bend your right knee and slide the left ankle under it. Lift through the spine and start to hinge those hips forward. Wiggle the toes. If you feel a lot of pressure or pull in the knee, soften it up. Make sure you can move it. And just feel that connection all the way up. And just notice, is it more on the outside edge of that hamstring, inside edge? Are you more restricted on this hip than the others? All right, we're gonna release that. All done there. Good, give those legs a shake, and then go ahead and bring that roller back behind you. All right, I'm just actually gonna turn around this way. I like to see it that way better. All right, so you're going to lean your upper body on the roller, like the shoulder blade area. Go ahead and bring your fingertips behind your head. Open up the chest. Feet are flat on the floor and knees are bent. Good. Now I want you to slowly, without letting your arms roll up or your shoulder blades move, drop your knees to the right. And now push your left elbow towards that roller and maybe look to the left. So you're really getting a nice stretch all the way through the left chest muscles and down into those hips as well. Make sure you're supporting your head and your neck. No pain in the neck. Slowly let your head come back to neutral and then bring your knees all the way back up and then drop your knees to the left and push your right elbow towards that roller. Maybe even looking to the right. And just breathe here. Notice which side might be a little tighter in the chest wall. And then slowly head to neutral. Bring those knees all the way back up. Good. Holding the head with your hands, lift your hips and let's roll the back. This time I want you to slide your elbows in over your forehead and bring your fingertips behind your head. Slight tuck of the chin. Massage out that low back a little differently. Or upper back, excuse me. We're not on the low back, we're on the upper back. And then go ahead and lower the hips all the way to the floor. Now, I want you to make room that you can lay on your back and bring that roller under your knees. And then lay all the way down onto your back. Now this is that great one stretch I was telling you about we're gonna do. So feet flat, lift your hips up and roll the roller underneath your low back and hip area. And make sure your head is on the floor. If you would like, you can also hold the outside edges of your roller because you're going to take your right leg and you extend it to the sky and make adjustments on that roller as you get there. Then bring the left leg up. So both legs are up to the sky. And make sure you're comfy on that roller. You can just chill out here for a moment. Now keeping your left foot up, I want you to take your right leg, keep it straight, and start to lower it towards the floor out in front of you. But don't let it touch. Keep it straight. Be mindful of what's going on in your back. You might feel a hip stretch, maybe you feel a hamstring. You are welcome to hold on to that left leg and give it a little pull, a little extra stretch, maybe rotate the ankle, point and flex. Good. Release the left leg and slowly engage your core and then pull the right leg up. And then slowly let the left leg go down. Straighten it out. Try not to let it touch the floor. Keep it straight. Maybe give your right leg a little pull. Maybe point and flex that right foot. Rotate the right ankle. How's that feel? So good, right? Engage the core. Lift your left leg all the way back up. And just breathe, relax here for a moment. Good. Now I want you to hug your right knee into your chest. So you're going to bend the knee, and look what's happening to the left leg. It's just falling down towards the floor. But see if you can keep it above the floor and straighten it out. Now maybe you can get your foot to go to the floor, but if you feel like you're starting to arch your back, notice what's happening. Notice if you have to bring your foot to the floor if you're going to start to arch, because that hip flexor is so tight. So just hug that right knee into the chest. Point your left toe and then try flexing it, and notice the difference when you flex your foot. You feel it more intensely up in that hip flexor. If your right knee's falling out to the side, pull it more towards the center of your body. Now rotate that left ankle. Switch directions. Go ahead and let your left knee slightly bend so your heel touches the floor, if it's not already there. Just notice what's going on. Where in your leg do you feel that? Is it more towards the knee? Is it higher towards the hip? Maybe it's towards the outside. Maybe it's more IT band. Now I want you to slowly pull your left knee back into the chest. Make adjustments with that roller if you feel like it's going to roll away. Keep the left leg there and straighten out the right leg. Now the right leg, if you're right-handed, it might be a little tighter in that hip flexor. And just breathe here. Try to relax your shoulders. Notice what's going on. Notice if your foot rotates. Maybe point that right foot. Maybe flex it. Notice the difference again in that hip flexor. You don't want to feel pain in that low back, so feel that difference again. If you keep the legs straight and try to get the heel down, or pull the knee in tighter, does that help relieve any pressure on that low back? Play around with it. Now I want you to relax your right foot and let the knee bend so your heel touches the floor. And check in with your left knee. Is it falling open? Pull it to the middle of your body. Straighten out the foot. If it's pulling across, straighten it out. That hip is rotating. Nice. Bend that right knee. Place the right foot on the floor. Let your left foot meet it. So both knees bent, both feet on the floor. Go ahead and lift to a bridge and roll that roller out from underneath your hips. And then let's hug the knees into the chest and give it a rock. Side to side. Massage out that low back. Go ahead and put your feet on the roller and then just straighten out your legs. So your calves are on the roller. Just give a little bend, straighten of your knees. Massage out those calves. You can even move that roller up to the middle of the calves and bend, straighten. Bonus here, wasn't even in the plan, but I'm adding it in. Bend and straighten, it just feels good. Get a couple extra trigger points, rotate those feet in big circles away from each other and back in, and then change direction, circle them the opposite way. Notice if there's any trigger points there. And then see if you can either use your arms, use your core, you're gonna lift your head. I want you to sit all the way up. Your feet are still on that roller and just stretch it forward. Stretching things out. Try to flex your toes. Maybe you can touch them, maybe you can't. Doesn't matter. Do what you can. And then pull your feet off of that roller. Go and turn and cross your legs, sit up nice and tall. Let's check in with our posture. How's everything feeling? Good. So there's one last little thing that we haven't done yet, and that is for the head. So we're going to stretch out. You're going to lay back one more time on that roller. I want you to place the back of the head on the roller. Roll the head to the right and give it a nod, and you're right above those occipital bones. And then I want you to turn all the way to your right side so the roller is above your ear, and nod your head no, so you're going all the way across above that ear. And then roll onto your back. The roller's back in the middle, the head is in the middle, and then roll your head to the left and do a little nod yes and a no. And then you're going to draw your whole body to the left hip, and the roller's right above your left ear, and roll your head like you're saying no, side to side, and then all the way back. That's plenty. We're going back to the middle. So place the roller right in the middle of your head and a big no, not side to side. Roll that head side to side. And then yes, no. And then hug your knees. And if you can, roll all the way up. Sit up nice and tall. Now with your chin in alignment, we just did the head. I want you to drop your chin to the left side of your chest. Slowly bring your head up. Drop your chin to the right side of your chest. Bring your head up. Left ear to left shoulder. Head up. Right ear to right shoulder. Head up. Chin to chest. And then head up. Slide your shoulders to your ears. And then all the way back down. Take a deep breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale the arms next to the body. Sit up as tall as you can. Check in with your posture. So hopefully you feel a little more blood flow to the brain. Just wanted to throw that last little head stretch in there. Massage. Thank you for joining me today. Take a deep breath in. Reach the arms up. Press the hands together, bringing them down to heart space. Namaste.